Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We're live. January 2nd, 2026, Donald Trump has given a warning, an ultimatum, a last chance to the Ayatollah to save his turban and something more. The Iranian regime has clear instructions from the United States of America, from the most powerful army in the world, not to violently suppress the demonstrations that are happening right now all over Iran, which is in chaos and seeking freedom. And interestingly, the country that used to burn the flags of the United States and Israel now burns the flags of the Ayatollah's regime and embraces those of Israel and the United States. Family, your likes, your comments. This is Military Strategies. Let's begin.
Good evening, family. Welcome to your house, to your home, the place for information, the place for what's happening in the world, for what's going on. First of all, before anything else, I want to send a big hug to our community in Mexico. They had an earthquake today. We'll discuss details later. I hope you're all okay, safe and sound. I pray for your safety, and I hope that's the case. Sending a hug to all of Mexico in these tough times when the earth roars. It's unstoppable and frightening. We'll later see more images that are also scary and roar. And what's also important is what's happening right now in Iran. Family, your likes are super important. We have to reach 378,000, but also Iran, just like Venezuela, has to achieve its freedom. Bam, bam, boom. For the Ayatollah, that man who has given us so much, unfortunately in a bad way, that's how it is right now. It's an incredible thing. Small protests have now spread widely, even in Tehran. Some Tehran neighborhoods are so overtaken that even the Revolutionary Guard avoids entering due to ongoing events. And of course, something important happened here today. The person who spoke is the one we said yesterday should speak. Those of you who watched last night's show, sorry we couldn't do the one about Venezuela. I'm not in good health. As you know, these are difficult times, but we're trying. Yesterday on the show, we were saying, hey, if this wants to move forward, if we want there to be a regime change, if there's a real opportunity for the Iranian people, it has to be supported by the two most important powers in the region right now. Thank you, United States, obviously, but also Israel. Israel and the United States have to firmly establish their position. Where are they going to position themselves? Where are they going to be? Where are they focusing their attention right now? And Donald Trump? Nothing after we finished our live broadcast, as if he had heard us, even though POTUS doesn't listen to us. We don't have that kind of contact with POTUS. Although, who knows, maybe someone tells him this channel exists, we don't know. POTUS does check social media, don't get it wrong, POTUS. Tonight, at exactly 1:28 in the morning, he sent out a message. Of course, it was the message we all waited for. It was the message that opened the door. I don't directly get involved in supporting the protests, but I do indirectly support the protests. Now you'll understand this story's ambiguity. Look, I'm going to put up the translation so you can see it, and you'll realize what we're talking about here in military strategies. You also have the super chats open for comments to participate in the channel. And now we will be watching videos of the fire that cities like Kermasham, Isfahan, and other places have turned into right now. It's amazing what's happening. Let's go to the photograph because I think that's the important point here, says POTUS. If Iran shoots or violently kills peaceful protesters, as is its custom, the United States will come to their rescue. We are prepared, ready to go. Thank you for your attention. President Donald J. Trump, what is POTUS saying? Alone over there. If you use violence to suppress protesters, is the gang over? That clear, what does it mean that Donald Trump is not going to attack directly unless something happens that's already happening? And that's if Iran cracks down on the protesters with violence. There are dead, there are wounded, they're using live lethal ammunition against protesters. They're not shotguns or pistols anymore. They're machine guns. On my social network, Twitter, on my Twitter account, I posted a photo of an injured person. Can you go see it on Twitter? They're shooting people with pellet shotguns. Is this the prelude to something else? Well, so Iran is between a rock and a hard place, and now you're going to understand why. I kept saying it, and Iran kept announcing it. Greetings to everyone coming from JR, in quotes, a hug for Fina and the whole community. Same boat, same team. I was saying that if the Iranian regime takes any intervention or allegation from the United States or Israel as a threat to attack. Let's see how Iran responded to President of the United States, since this is serious. If Iran shoots or kills protesters, the United States will intervene, showing it already supports them. Oh, regime change. Point one, an important point, regime change. Not just temporarily taking out a missile silo. These demonstrations are not about dismantling a military structure. Here we're talking about regime change, one that the United States is waiting for, the Shah's heir, and another group that must leave, those with turbines, missiles, and nuclear bombs. So POTUS is already positioned. Now Israel's left, but Israel's always positioned anyway. They did it long ago, as you already know. Netanyahu said that the moment the Ayatollah leaves, water, money, infrastructure, agriculture will irrigate Iran, and they will grow hand in hand together with Israel. I wish it were like that, but the issue goes beyond that. Now let's see some reactions and watch videos. How has the Ayatollah's regime reacted, and what have they said exactly? POTUS. Ali Larijani has spoken out, as well as the deputy of the Revolutionary Guard, and they've said the following. For example, Larijani. Iran threatens United States soldiers after Donald Trump said that the United States would intervene if Iran violently kills peaceful protesters, and he warned that Washington is ready to strike. How? Ali Larijani, who is involved in the Argentine-Israelite Mutual Association issue, said that United States interference would mean chaos throughout the region and the destruction of United States interests. He added that the United States should care for its soldiers, and that it was Trump who started the adventurism. He started it. Can someone explain to him what happened to Larijani Soleimani? It's better not to explain. Let Trump act. First threat against Trump. One who survived the burning of the 12 days Otis is just like Trump. He's president of Trump. Of the United States. Otis? Otis escaped the purge. Lariani barely did. Is looking for a second round. It seems it wasn't clear to him. Next, since there are several on this list we can't miss. The Iranian parliament spokesperson stated that United States bases and forces in the region are legitimate targets. If Washington goes on adventures, do they think this is Indiana Jones? I think Iran still believes that it can do something militarily. I'm serious. I think their entire air defense could be destroyed in 2 hours. A country as small as Israel, if they blow up Fordow and Sfajam and a couple of other sites, it's still not enough for them to understand that they're at a military disadvantage. No, it's fine. Shabbat Shalom. Today is Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. Let's see Israel's response. Also, be careful. In the same way, just as the United States protects Israel, Israel protects the interests of the United States in the region. Hand in hand here, for better or for worse. Who else has come out with this story to tell us and to talk about science fiction movies? In the meantime, let's watch this intro that just came out a year ago from the United States Central Command. Everything that has been achieved since the arrival of Donald Trump, people ask why now the United States? And before not, ask yourselves, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were in the White House. Trump arrived, disinfected the mansion, and now things are going differently. The world is being led from another perspective, from another viewpoint. Donald Trump knows exactly what he wants. More have come out, and this is amazing. A news outlet reports that Madrid says Israel fears unrest against Nari's government might prompt Tehran to attack Israel. We said it yesterday, today it's confirmed, and we keep seeing it. We have another guest. Excuse me, the audio slipped in, even though we won't understand a thing, but we have the translation here. We have someone who, soon if everything goes as it should, because I think this is a plan, I'll tell you about it. My theory is going to take a flight. There is a being of light in this story who is going to take a flight, besides Ayatollah, obviously. But it's going to be interesting. The Iranian defense minister. This is a saying. The Minister of Defense of Iran dismissed Donald Trump's comments, saying that Tehran would take decisive retaliation against any attack, claiming their military is stronger since the last 12-day conflict. If any threat is directed against our country, we will respond with full force, he stated, without hesitation. I've asked myself an interesting question. If Iran had prepared since the 1990s, by the way, look at the picture this guy shows us here with Salami in the background in a painting. That's what Salami has been reduced to, Salami, the one who used to walk around saying he was going to destroy the United States and Israel, and that he was in charge of moving the hands of the clock in Tehran Square, which marked the destruction of the state of Israel by the year 2030. Here's your coffee, thank you. One thing stands out to me. Since 1990, Iran has been preparing to destroy Israel. June 2025. Israel launches the 12-day war against Iran to destroy its ballistic missile capability. I think Israel is still there. I've seen the airport and a few other places there. It's still where it is. The one who's not there is Salami Salasade, the military leadership times 2. This is like when you go to the supermarket. I mean, can you imagine going to the supermarket and finding a can of roast beef? And you get a 2-for-1 deal. Well, the can is the military leadership of Iran. 2-for-1. Israel did a 2-for-1. Those guys have been preparing to destroy Israel since 1990, but haven't done it, despite having opportunities. My question is, from June until January of June 2025 until January 2026. January 2nd. What is Iran planning to rebuild to destroy what? If they haven't been able to do it all this time? Careful, because this can also speed up. It can speed up. That the fanatics of the Revolutionary War regime want the nuclear weapon, which is also going to make Trump take action. If they build missiles, Trump will take action together with Israel. If they build nuclear weapons, Trump will take action. If he attacks the protesters, Trump will take action, which is exactly where things stand right now. Excuse my outburst? Screwed. Pretty screwed, right? That's for the regime. Can we watch a missile launch? Yes, absolutely. They can reach the base in Qatar, of course. They can reach Tel Aviv, of course. The only difference now is going to be that no one is going to call anyone to tell them who they can eliminate. Do you understand me? I'm leaving my crumbs to follow the trail of the map that can lead us to what's coming. There are operations that have limitations. There are operations that don't have limitations. And of course, if now we have the Iranian people in the streets, we have a lot of people making noise. We have warnings from Donald Trump. Right now, we have an uncontrolled situation that could be used to launch an attack and decapitate the military and dictatorial leadership. Because those aren't politicians, they're dictators. There won't be any more limitations to keep the Ayatollah from losing his turban. Israel, and now that we're already a few months into the future, was seriously considering, very seriously, launching an attack against the Ayatollah. In fact, the Ayatollah did not perish by a small margin of time. And that's all we're going to tell you, says the Minister of Affairs. Demonic affairs, foreign affairs of Iran, Arati. Just take a look at the long history of actions by United States politicians to save the people of Iran. To grasp the United States' deep empathy for Iran, from organizing the coup d'etat on August 28, 1953 against the elected government of Dr. Mohammad Mossadegh, financed and equipped by the rioters, up to the downing of the Iranian passenger plane in 1988, the massacre of innocent women and children in the Persian Gulf, including unwavering support for Saddam during the 8-year war with Iran, the complicity with the Israeli regime in the killing, the death of Iranians, and the attack on Iranian infrastructure in June 2025. And of course, the sanctions that have been described as the most severe in history. And today, the threats to attack Iran under the pretext of the sympathy of the Iranians, in blatant violation of the most important principle of international law. Iranians, by resolving problems through dialogue and interaction, will not permit foreign intervention to progress. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. You're probably asking, what do you think about this? Strategies. Is this something natural? Something that just happened like this? Is it a window of opportunity, or is there a plan? All right. I'm going to take the plunge even though it's winter and it's cold, or dive right into the mud. I think what's happening right now is the result of a series of actions. The 12-day war revealed to the Iranian people that it's a bluff. The Revolutionary Guard, the Ayatollah, the army, it's all a bluff. They have no capability at all and are at the mercy of anyone who wants to go in there and wipe out everything. Point number one. Point number two, the Iranian regime's failure to give a clear response to those actions. More weakness, more fear, and lack of control and ability in the face of a critical situation. 3. The country's economic situation. The sanctions are suffocating the Ayatollah's regime. The drop in legal crude oil exports has hurt them, and now, with oil tankers having to turn back and not finding liquidity anywhere, it makes things even worse for them. 4. The lack of public services, food, electricity, and water. Everything has come together in a cocktail that has now exploded, and it's called burning streets. All of this, from my point of view, is a plan in which, obviously, what is happening, what is going on, is going to be taken advantage of. Reza Pahlavi, are you ready? There in the United States, he has already thanked President of the United States for the support to the revolution, President of the United States, who has already set the course. Does the Iranian know he can go outside now? Because soon as the Ayatollah's regime loses control, President of the United States will arrive. He won't be joking then. He did the same with the Christians recently. He's not going to do it with Iran since he's interested in getting rid of the Ayatollah's dictatorship. What's the difference in all this? Why not do it directly? The United States ends this story with an attack from a geostrategic perspective. It's better for the people to rise up, and then President of the United States and Israel come in and finish it off. That's the best way. Why? In 24 hours, 48 hours of airstrikes, destroying and neutralizing everything that needs to be neutralized and attacked. You step off the stage and let the people manage themselves. On the other hand, going in directly right now could provoke an adverse reaction. We still have to wait until things get much more heated, and they are heating up, obviously. Here you can see the police, the basic force, the repressors, arresting people, taking people away, taking women away, arresting people. This will not decrease. In fact, it may increase. The more deaths there are, the more disaffection there will be from the people of Iran, and the more they will take to the streets. He's trying to save more than just his own head. His name is Escalation, and he's trying to avoid blaming the United States or Israel, and he's saying that there need to be reforms. All right, is it possible that they might remove Escalation themselves? And what if the helicopter were in charge? President? I don't know why he was carrying a beeper. Yes, but he was carrying a beeper bought from a company.
Oh.
It happened in Taiwan, and it was clearly an accident. Everyone knows it was just an accident, and nothing good came of it. Rai was indeed the butcher of Terra, the mayor of Terra. This would have already been controlled by sending the army out into the streets to shoot everyone, in which case Donald Trump would have intervened as well. Like the Iranian regime, the military leadership knows that Trump could intervene. If they go too far, it will significantly limit the military response. There will be soldiers, commanders, and mid-level officers who will say, I don't want anything to do with this. Because when things start to go wrong, Mossad knows where I live, knows where my family is. Israel knows too, and so does the United States. And it's better that they don't. The psychological effect is total, it's brutal, it's complete, so in that sense, there won't be any doubt at all.
No.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.
Of course, the situation is what you see. More and more people are arriving. The government can't control the streets. This is growing. The undecided are joining in. They're joining too. And it's a snowball that can't be stopped anymore. It can't be stopped without provoking a reaction from the United States of America. The only way Iran has to stop this is through repression, a harsh, strong, violent repression that goes on. I repeat, as I said, I reaffirm what I said last night. And POTUS has confirmed triggering the intervention of the United States of America through precision strikes on very specific locations, which will make it possible, among other things, for people to go out into the streets and get tools to defend themselves. Do you already know what I mean? Let's imagine the following scenario. Let's go to the map so people can understand it better. And we know about this. By the way, I'd like to mention something. When I was in Israel, I was in a place where we met wonderful, incredible people. We were in Kisofim. Well, Israel has found a tunnel, 800 meters long. That went into Israel. Year 2026. I just want to leave it there. What do I mean by this? This feeling of security and that everything is already under control, I'm sorry to say it, but it's not so under control. Come on, let's remove the Operation Southern Spear logo. Then today we really will do Venezuela. I promise today for sure. Yes, because there are also things happening. Fires at military bases and things like that. But anyway, we leave Israel, we leave Gaza. For now. We could start another live stream to talk about this topic because what's happening is just unbelievable. But since I know we'll have to come back soon because of the issue of unity, everything in due time, let's imagine a scenario.
Questo.
An important hypothetical situation.
Ante.
To the north of the city of Isfahan, if my memory serves me right, and I think it does, there is a military base where there is a lot of equipment, a lot. If the United States manages to break through or make the guards flee, a pretty strong possibility could open up. A pretty realistic one that people could gain access to those arsenals. And as a consequence of that, to be able to protect themselves. It's an example. The city of Isfahan is an example. It's super important. Plus, it has a nuclear reactor. In the same city, there's an experimental reactor. We know it's really for making a nuclear weapon eventually, right? And that, without a doubt, could be one of the good reasons why the United States, together with Israel, would want to see the regime fall. Just like Isfahan, Kermasha is also one of the cities where it is clearly the whole issue of ballistic missiles. Historically, it's the city where the entire ballistic missile project began. Here's the Kermasham testing range. Protesters taking over any arsenals that might be around there. Well, that's already a guarantee of security.
Ya. Mejor.
The current scenario of some guys who want to destroy Israel. Imagine yourselves with the fall of the regime. When it's possible to go inside these places and discover the secrets, what's in here? I think we're all going to be surprised. And in what way? And in what way? It's a coincidence. I'm not insisting on this. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that there are protests in Tehran, in Kermashem, in Bandar Abbas, in Hamadan, in the north, in Bazar, in Gijam. This, what we see here, is not a coincidence. It's to surround the regime. Obviously, the key is in front of Tehran, if they manage to get Tehran to rise up against the regime. There we will find a complicated situation for the Ayatollah, who will have to be evacuated. I don't know, maybe to some cave. I don't know. I don't even know if they're going to take him. I think they'll just leave him there abandoned when this falls. Qom, which is supposed to be the capital of Shi'ism, has also already risen up against them. Something that was historic. Now it's not like that. See, I told you about the change. Generational.
A song in Armenian.
We went from burning Israeli flags to burning the Ayatollah's regime flags. Who would have told us a few months ago that we were going to see all this? I can't believe it. It's moving. It's moving because it's a country where there are prisons, where people are tortured, where women have no freedom, and where people don't have an acceptable life expectancy. By the way, speaking of women, Muro? Do we know if Pedro Sanchez is with Spain's progressive government?
Yeah.
Yolanda Diaz, Irene Montero, Ione Belara, and all this mob of defenders of feminism have already come out to celebrate that women take off the rags from their heads, stop being persecuted, and have freedom. Have they already come out to comment on it? Have they come out yet? Please, if so, tag me on Twitter. Although I think there won't be any hashtag and there won't be any celebration. There won't be anything. That's for sure. The persecuted women? I would like to see in the chat, what do you all think about the situation we have right now? A military operation is underway in the Caribbean Sea, possibly aiming to overthrow Nicolas Maduro's regime.
Claro.
Possible entry into Iran to overthrow the Ayatollah's regime. How would this affect things globally? It could isolate Russia and China. It could break an important alliance. The BRICS, for example. It could be a clear message. A warning for many. A warning for many, too.
A song in Armenian.
It's the chaos in the streets. What you're seeing is the chaos in the streets. Watch out for the Persians, okay? Watch out for the Persians because they are a warrior people. They are a warrior people. They are not going to surrender. However, the Ayatollah was brought from outside. The Ayatollah is not Persian. He is not Iranian, okay? These Ayatollahs, the first one who came was brought on a plane from France. The French didn't want him anymore. Over there, they obviously told him, please go deliver your message somewhere else, but clearly, look at the mistake. Isn't it France again? Always bringing, taking, and doing things. What is the regime doing? This needs to be reported. Attention, breaking news, family. What is the regime doing right now? Is it important with this? The regime is using ambulances. They use ambulances, there are connection issues, and they're trying to censor us. They've been doing this for some time and keep insisting on it. No one is going to take us down. It's already fixed. Please confirm that it's okay. And also, we're going to give away memberships here at Military Strategies. We'll give away Military Strategies memberships at this moment. The more you write in the chat, the better. Excuse me, we have a connection problem here. They were trying to pull one of their tricks. But that's not the case anymore. Everything is back in its place now? Thanks so much, it's all good. You're still getting cut off when you go in and out, but we're going to have memberships. Just in a few minutes, I'll let you know that in a few minutes we'll have memberships. We're going to show some important videos now about how the regime is repressing the protests. Do you see pellet cartridges here? It's a serious matter. What's happening is quite serious. Otis has to act at any moment. Of course, things are happening. A lot of good things. One of the things that's happening right now is nothing more and nothing less. Iran is drawing foreigners. Iran is drawing foreigners to crack down. To crack down. Foreigners to crack down. A crackdown. Brought in from Yemen, from Iraq. Vehicles have already been seen coming from Iraq with people, buses, packed with Arabic-speaking guys. And this is going to keep heating up more and more and more and more. You have to keep that in mind. The situation is not going to be easy. For its part, Israel, what are you going to do, or what can we expect to see you do in the next few hours? Well, I think it's clear. Just look at what's happening right now. Let's take a look at the fly radar right now. In the Persian Gulf. This plane that is taken off from the base, the one we see from the United States, the base. Mainly used with the United States, which has a major military presence, and also with Qatar. A KC-135 has taken off from the United States, which likely means there are fighter jets involved. Heading north. It's a routine patrol, possibly, yes. It might be one of the usual patrols, but it's also very likely. It's very possible. There is already an alert because of the threat from Iran. The United States will not let itself be caught off guard by a missile attack. The United States and Israel Intelligence Service. At the moment the Iranians make a decision to attack or to launch an attack, which I believe they are going to do. Because I think they're going to get tired of always being the ones who receive the attack and not start it. I think they're going to do it. Everything is ready. That is, the United States has a military presence in the area. Not similar to the 12-day war. But it is important or significant enough to launch an attack jointly with Israel to fight against. The Ayatollah regime? They don't have planes. They practically have no air defense left. They've regained some capability, but whatever they recover can be taken down again. We would need to know which are the United States naval units. In the Persian Gulf at this moment, I think that it's important to know currently what's there. If there are aircraft carriers, if there are submarines, I assume there's always a submarine. There's always an aircraft carrier. And we're going to start counting troops, movements. We're going to start looking at everything right now. There could be an aircraft carrier and a confirmed Arleigh Burke-class destroyer at this moment. The United States ship Roosevelt, the littoral combat ship, Canberra, Santa Barbara, and Tulsa are also in the area of responsibility of the Fifth Fleet, which includes the waters of the Persian Gulf. Right now, the United States ship Cole just left after finishing its rotation in 2024 and 2000, 25, a year of rotation. And now we have, well, a series of destroyers. If we see that in the coming days, there starts to be movement at bases like Diego Garcia, we start to see planes moving to Israel, again, setting up the air defense to protect Israel. Is it possible that we might see a scenario very close to or very unlikely of an attack against Iran, or that Iran could launch an attack against Israel? Obviously, with today's threats, Donald Trump can't, right? Ignore it, and he has to take all the necessary measures to protect interests in the region. It's more than obvious. The only issue I see is a bit more complicated here is the current situation, which isn't related to Iran. It's that of Saudi Arabia with the United Arab Emirates, which could somewhat limit actions regarding the Iranian issue. A united Sunni Arab bloc against Iran would be more beneficial than a divided bloc. Still, I insist this isn't really important. Although it also has its point of interest in this whole story. From Israel's point of view, what could Israel do? If it knows that a preemptive attack or a pre-entry strike is going to be launched against it, or that it is going to be attacked directly, we could end up in a situation where it is attacked first. And the type of attack could be against the military leadership, against some important figure of the regime. Let's see what happens with this. Let's see. It happens with this story. Family? We're leaving now, but we'll be back here later on military strategies. Chaotic situation in Iran. We will expand and develop information as it comes in. Let's focus on Venezuela, Iran, and Israel. What's happening? And I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for being live with us. And now, as promised, we're giving away the memberships, family. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 memberships. Good luck to everyone, and we'll see you in the next show.